Welcome. I thought it would be fun to tattoo together, or at least me tattoo while I talk to you about some things. And today we are going to tattoo a tribute to my dog, Kaya. Kaya went missing a little over a year ago, right before New Year's Eve, and her loss is still felt very deeply in our home. I've been wanting to do a tribute tattoo for my animals for a while just because loving them and taking care of them has brought so much joy to my life, even though they've passed on or left us. I think that memorializing them on my body is just a normal thing for me to do. That's how I feel I want to memorialize them, and I chose Kaya first because she taught me so many lessons. Seems like I've just now come to terms with the fact that she's probably not coming home, and so it seemed like an appropriate time for me to do the tattoo. She left about 4 months after my best friend died, and so it's been an added layer of grief in my life that I've been learning to deal with. For this particular tattoo, I traced a photo of her that was taken by my best friend when she was a puppy. And although I really enjoyed the tracing and the outline, I really liked the stencil, I just couldn't come to peace with a placement for it. As you'll see, I've tried different placements, several different spots, and I just really couldn't find peace with this particular stencil. Almost a year now, and I know that you won't be coming home. As you can see here, this is my first placement of the tattoo. And although, like I said, I really like the tattoo, I couldn't seem to get it straight the way that I would like to look at it. And my goal here with this tattoo was to be able to look at it and to see it whenever I was remembering or feeling sad about Kaya. So I wanted it to be visible to me, and that's why I wanted it on my arm. But I ended up deciding to put it lower on my forearm so that it kind of fit in with a smaller stencil, and you'll see that here in a moment. But yeah, my second placement, third placement, fourth placement of this stencil didn't work out. The stencil was wrecked by the end of it, so we just moved on with a different reference photo and a different stencil altogether. I also want to put other tattoos on this arm. If you look at the tattoos on my arm, they're all of something that means something to me. Many of them were drawn by my children. And so this arm is particularly, number one, it's easy for me to tattoo because I'm right-handed, but also I want to stick with things that are very, very meaningful to me because you see my arms the most. I do have tattoos that I've self-tattooed on my legs that I really like. I also have another one on my other arm that I did left-handed. Here I'm just speeding up a little bit because I want to get to the good part. When I'm tattooing and placing a stencil, I really wait for a sense of peace and enjoyment when I place a stencil. And if I don't have that, I don't go forward with the tattoo. There's plenty of times that I've blocked out some time to tattoo that I haven't tattooed because I just didn't feel quite right about the placement or something about the stencil. You'll notice that most of my tattoos are outlined or not very detailed, but give the impression of the object or the idea that I'm trying to convey. And that is really what's just easiest for me right now in my tattooing process. I'm really trying to focus on getting the clean lines before I worry about the details. And for Kaya, it makes sense because she had such a distinguishable jawline and ear pattern. And so as soon as I look at this tattoo, I just automatically think that's Kaya because I've seen her make that face or use that head position so many times over the 15 years that we were together. I really find self-tattooing to be a very meditative process. There's a pop that happens in the skin when you're sticking the needle in and depositing the ink. You do, or at least I do, have to go over the tattoo several times in order to get the depth of ink and the color that you're looking for. And it's not abnormal to have to go back over it at a later date, but that's another process that I really like about self-tattooing, because when I do go back over the tattoo, I can remember what I was feeling or thinking at the time that I picked the tattoo, and I can also add details to it at a later date. So nothing here is permanent in my eyes. I can always change or tweak something. And like I said, if I don't have peace about the stencil or the tattoo, I won't place it, simply because I know that tattoos are not easily or painlessly removable. Kaya was about 6 months old when she came to us, and she was going to be sold to a fighter, and so we took her in, and she had been kept in the crate for much of her puppy life, and so she was very anxious, and she would tear up our house. And for a while, honestly, I hated the dog because she required so much extra from me, and it took a while for us to get used to each other. But over time, we did, and she just was a part of our family. Our daughter has never known life without Kaya until recently, and that's another very painful part about when animals go missing. We looked and we've searched for her high and low. We've had some leads, but they really haven't led to much. And so all we have now is a memory of Kaya and her playfulness. She would allow the kids to dress her up, to play doggy dentist. She was so patient with them. And so even though she was so anxious and kind of needy, I really was able to learn from her patience. I just really miss her, and so having this tattoo is a way for me to think about her and mentally thank her for her role in my life and in the kids' lives. And yes, I know the placement's weird with the mushrooms. I don't care. Again, it's my body. People have opinions. That's wonderful, and I'm happy to hear them, but I absolutely love this tattoo. The thing about self-tattooing is that not every tattoo will be great, but I will learn something from every tattoo, and that is the point for me. I am able to memorialize things that are important to me, like my kids' drawings and symbols and signs that we share with each other, and my own artwork, and also learn about the art of tattooing. I hope you've enjoyed watching this self-tattooing video. Please drop a comment, a like, maybe subscribe. Let me know.